This video is for real estate investors and realtors. I'm going to show you the 3 best business credit cards that you should use in your industry. Whether you're an investor paying the hefty prices of renovations, property management, closing costs, or if you're a realtor paying a lot to advertise your properties and your services, driving around showing properties all over the city, and trying to woo your next client. These cards are going to be just a few that I hand selected. There are thousands of cards out there. So if I don't list a card that you think should have been on this list, that maybe you're already using as a realtor or you've been looking at, leave that down in a comment and tell us how you use it, because that can help some other realtors or real estate investors that are looking to get their first card or add on to their card options. Now, the banks that I'm going to mention are banks that don't require any proof of documentation as far as income goes, and you can stack these up to get really high amounts to use for your business. And the real estate industry is one of the biggest industries I help. So let's go ahead and look at some of the best cards to reward you for how you conduct business on a regular daily basis, as well as a few extra ideas on how to use these cards in your business that you may not have thought of. Real quick though, first let's talk about some of the challenges that you might be dealing with when you're doing real estate investment and not utilizing business credit cards. Now I know with investing, other than of course purchasing the property, cash flow can get really tight when you have multiple properties, ongoing renovations, and then of course those unexpected expenses that pop up. Now, if you're relying solely on your own cash, or even worse, your personal credit to make these investments and pay for renovations, it can lead to high utilization and lower your personal credit score, also limiting things that you can do in your personal life if you need to get a new car, get a house, or, just anything like that. If you have a dedicated business credit card, yes, they will look at your personal credit to approve you, but it's still a faster way of getting access to higher amounts of credit that don't report to your personal credit report, allowing you to conduct as much business as you need to without it hurting your personal credit score. Then there are usually better rewards on the business credit cards, and you can use those rewards to reinvest into your business. Okay, so now let's get into those cards. So the first card I'm going to mention is going to be with Chase. Now, Chase has a bunch of different business card options, of course, and you always have to look at how you're actually spending money to determine what card is going to be the best one for you, that's going to give you the most return on investment or bang for your buck. Now, Chase is known for giving higher limits. The highest I've seen a client get is $75,000 from Chase alone. But when choosing the best card for your industry, real estate, I'm going to say that the best one to get started with is going to be this business preferred card, and let me tell you why. Okay, so first off, right off the bat, you get a pretty big bonus in the beginning. You can get 90,000 points or 900 in cash back. And that's after spending $8,000 on purchases in the first 3 months. Of course, these can change depending on when you're looking at this video. But right now in real estate, it should be really easy to spend that $8,000 and get those points. Now, this card only has a $95 annual fee, so that's really not that much. But here are some of the rewards benefits why I'm saying this is a good card to get started with. Let's say as a real estate investor, you do a lot of traveling out of town to go check on properties in different states. Well, with this card, you get 3 times the points in the categories, in the travel category, as well as the internet cable phone services category. Now, this counts for the first $150,000 you spend within an anniversary year, which is, when you first got the card, that's when the year starts. So that $150,000 is a pretty high limit. The 3 times points is really good. And also, when you redeem points within Chase's portal, you get 25% more in travel redemption points. So you get more for using that portal when you do use your points for travel. Plus, you already get 3 times the points for travel. And of course, you're doing real estate investing, or if you're a realtor, you're going to have a phone. So you can pay for your phone services and get 3 times the points on that, because there's a lot of talking that goes down in real estate. And if you're a broker or investor, you have your office internet that you have to pay for. So of course, this qualifies for that as well. And for you realtors that are out there advertising your properties a lot, maybe even you do some mailers where you ship things out to people's home, postcards, stuff like that. You get 3 times the points on shipping. So when you're spending at the post office or something like that, and for advertising purchases made with social media and search engines, if you're putting your properties out there to be found on Google or doing Facebook ads and stuff like that, you get 3 times the points on that. And of course, this allows you to stack up points really quickly. You can redeem them for travel, even if you use them for travel for other purposes. We're talking about business purposes here. But also, here's something that, maybe as a realtor, you can use to make yourself look a little bit more, higher status or really woo some buyers or something like that. You get 5 times the points on Lyft rides. So let's say you have a prospect, you want to impress them. They're trying to buy a home. Maybe you send a Lyft Lux or XL to go pick them up, right? And this might sound crazy to some of you guys, but this is just an idea of something that you might want to do with maybe a specific client that you really want to impress. Maybe they have a big budget, a lot of money, and something like this could just impress them. But you send that to go pick them up, you look good, you get 5 times the points on that. Maybe you only do it a few times for a few customers, or maybe you do this for a specific high profile client each time, and you're building up points and you're putting it on a credit card anyway. So you're not eating the full cost of that ride each time. You're paying it off over time. So those are some of the reasons why I'm saying go with the Chase Business Preferred card. And look, another alternative option at Chase is also going to be the Business Unlimited card. Now, the reason why this one is going to be good is, of course, 0 annual fee. That's really good. And then 0% APR for 12 months is also going to be very good. They also do have, if you decide to go with this card instead, $900 cash back if you spend $6,000 on purchases within the first 3 months. Also a really good offer. But the real benefit of this card is that you get 1.5% cash back, and it doesn't matter what category you spend it on. So if you want to get a decent amount back, of course, it won't be as high as those specific categories. But if you don't want to keep up with the categories and all of that stuff, you can just earn a straight 1.5, get 0% APR. So while you're making those investments in properties or advertising or, paying for renovations, you're paying that back at 0% interest. So it's the same as using cash, but you are building up points at the same time. And you can still utilize that 5% cash back on Lyft rides if you want to do that too. Now, if you are liking this video so far, make sure you hit the thumbs up so YouTube can know to show this video to more people that are looking for this information, and subscribe to the channel to continue to get great information like this for your business. And look, if you need help with funding for your business, make sure you go to the link below to book a funding call. I do have a waiting list that is going to start in November. A lot of people are trying to get extra funding for their business before the holiday season starts so they can get all the things they need in place, advertise, all of that. So again, book a call so you don't end up on that wait list waiting to get the money that you need. Now on to the next card. So this next card I'm going to recommend is the Amex Business Gold card, and you might want to get the white gold card because that one just looks so much better. But yeah, I'm gonna just leave that right there because that does look better. But with this card, with Amex, it does have a higher annual fee, $375, but they give you so many bonuses. It really kind of weighs out on the end, and you actually end up profiting on the end with all the extra bonuses that they have. Now, first off, right now you can get a pretty big 175 rewards points after you spend $15,000 on eligible purchases within the first 3 months. So again, in real estate, transactions are really high. So this is something that you should be able to do over the course of 3 months, especially. That's $5,000 a month, especially if you're using this on advertising, because of course, if you're advertising, getting your name out there as a realtor, the more business you're going to get. So if you're spending $5,000 a month, you're probably going to get a good bit of clients, especially if it's a good ad. Now, good thing about this is you get 0% APR for 6 months. So it's not a full 12 months, but you also have to understand that this is a charge card. So you're supposed to pay this off at the end of month, honestly, but they do have a feature where they allow you to pay over time on some balances. And now they're allowing you 6 months of 0% APR if you do carry a balance on this card. And that's something really good to take advantage of because they usually don't offer this. Now, some of the major benefits of this card is the fact that you get 4 times the points. But again, outside of that 6 months at 0% APR, this is a card that you should be prepared to be able to pay off quickly. So you should already be making money in your business. You probably don't want this if you're brand new and then you rack up a whole bunch of costs and then, you're going to have to pay it off at the end of the month. I would say maybe you at least have had a year in business before you're doing this, unless you just know you got the clientele like that. Now, with this card, you get 4 times the points, which is extremely high. And with this, it's your top 2 eligible categories, which is the 2 categories that you spend money on the most. So basically, you're out there swiping your card. Each merchant has certain transaction codes. So they'll see what type of merchant you spend the most money with And then those two categories will be where you will earn those 4 times the points. Now, also with this, you get 3 times the points on, flights and hotels. So again, if you're operating in multiple states, looking at investments and properties and whatnot, you can use this card when you travel and rack up a lot of points with that. And like, most other cards, you're going to get 1 times the points on all other purchases that you make outside of those two things. But again, part of what they do to try to help you knock down the cost of the annual fee is they give you a lot of extra bonuses. And they have a $240 flexible business credit that they give you when you spend money at FedEx, Grubhub, or at office supply stores. So if you're getting a lot of things that you need for the office, if you are, mailing things out by FedEx, advertisements, or whatever it might be, you can very easily get this $240 credit. And just to give you a little more insight on that 4 times the points so that you can see, where you can spend that money at, you can get that 4 times the points on advertising on select media, like if you do it online, like social media, TV, and radio. So you can get 4 times the points for a more vast area of advertising, which is really good. If you go to electronics goods retailers and pay for software or cloud system providers, so if you have a CRM, if maybe you're going to Best Buy to get some stuff, or you have an email service provider where you market using emails, all of these things can fit under there. Okay, of course, restaurants, if you are taking your clients out to, impress them or having team meetings for your team, if you're a real estate broker, take the team out, use the card, get 4 times the points with that, if it's in your top 2 categories. Also, gas stations. So if you're spending a lot of money on gas as a realtor driving around, or as a investor driving around, finding properties or chauffeuring your buyers around to see different houses, you can get 4 times the points on gas stations if that's where you spend the most money at. And of course, depending on where you are, trains, taxi cabs, ride shares, tolls, parking, buses, subways, you can get points on that if you do a lot of travel in that way, as well as getting 4 times the points for your monthly phone service provider. So again, you would look at this and see where you're going to spend the most money at and see if this 4 times the points would benefit you. But it looks like this would benefit a lot of you guys in the real estate world. And now I'm going to give you a Ford bonus card. It is going to be the Blue Business Cash card. And I'm throwing this card in there from Amex because, of course, the last card that we looked at was a charge card. So outside of that first 6-month promotion that they have right now, where you get 0% interest on balances, you need a card that's going to be revolving because it's really beneficial when you have all of those high costs in regards to flipping the properties or getting them ready. If you're an investor, or maybe you're trying to cover gas to run clients around or do some advertising on some properties that you have, listings that you have, and you need to pay for those things, but you just want to kind of float the costs around where you can kind of pay on it until the money comes back in from you getting some transactions. It's going to always be beneficial to have a revolving card to handle that. So one of the best ones that they have at Amex is going to be the Blue Business Cash card. And of course, there's the Blue Business Plus card. They're really the same card, just one gives you rewards points, the other gives you cash back. But you can see here it's no annual fee on this card, which is great. And you can get $250 statement credit after you spend $3,000 on the card in the first 3 months. And you get 0% APR for 12 months. So everything that you are spending, you don't pay any interest on for that first 12 months, which is amazing. Now, as far as points go, you also get 2% on all purchases up to $50,000 throughout the year. So, a lot of you guys, you should still fall within this range by the end of the year. Some of you guys that are really doing a lot in business, you might hit this, but 50,000 and getting everything regardless of category at 2% is still going to be really good regardless of how you slice it. And again, I know there are other cards out there, but like I mentioned before, if you guys have used different cards in your business or you've been looking at some other options that you think are really good, leave those down in the comments to try to help everybody get some ideas of some other cards that might be out there that they can use too. Now, there's one problem here that I did not mention. So as a realtor, real estate investor, broker, you now see some cards that you can use and how you can use them within your business. But the problem is I've seen that most people, when they go and apply, they usually get 60% less than what my clients see because of what they're putting on the application. Now, I make recommendations to my clients based off data points I've seen that yielded the highest results and their situation. But if you don't know what to put on the application to ensure you get the highest credit limit, then you'll have a useful card with not enough money to do what you need to do. So if you want to know what to put on the application when it's time to apply, go to this video. Or let's say your credit kind of needs to get to a better place before applying, check out this video. And I'll see you in the next one.